Hey, welcome to Geek Freaks. I am Frank, and I'm joined by Daniel
Hola.
and Jonathan.
Hey, y'all.
All right, let's start off with how was your guys' holidays? Today's Boxing Day, by the way. Happy Boxing Day. Those watching the stream and everything like that. Those listening to the podcast. We recorded this on Boxing Day, so happy to that. But Jonathan, how was your Christmas?
It was good. I got all kinds of good stuff. Had fun. It was, very small. Try not to gather too much and whatnot, but I had a good time.
Yeah. What about you, Daniel?
It was a little disappointing this Christmas, especially with the whole coronavirus. So I didn't get to hang out with my niece or nephew. We only
Yeah.
FaceTimed them and watched them open presents on FaceTime. That was a little disappointing. And then, the other stuff was kind of fun. Hung out with my mom and grandma, pretty much.
It's hard because there are so many people who live their entire Christmas through FaceTime this time around, and it's like, I don't know. It was just a lot of Twitter was people like kind of like consoling each other and stuff like that, and it was a bit of a downer year for them, and that hey, 2021, it's gonna be awesome.
I hope so.
We're gonna have a good 2021. Yeah, mine was good too, and yeah, everything went pretty well. I had COVID beginning of the month, so I'm immune, so that kind of helped out a little bit for Christmas. But yeah, so what are you gonna do, guys? We're gonna look forward to a great year next year. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into what we're gonna be doing today. We're gonna be talking about Wonder Woman 1984 that just came out on Christmas Day. And then we're going to be talking about some of our favorite picks from this last year of movies, comics, TV shows, and games. And then we're going to be talking about what's coming up next year in those same categories. Today's episode of Geek Freaks is brought to you by Green Man Gaming. Green Man Gaming sells keys for Steam, Epic Game Store, and many more at a very good discount. Check out all their amazing sales. Currently, they have a winter sale going on until the first week of January. We have Red Dead Redemption 2. That is 38% off for only $36.98. That's, of course, a great game. We have a level up about that one. Death Stranding is 56% off, bringing it down to $26.40. One of our very few games we gave a perfect score to. I still don't agree with it, but we did give it a perfect score. Bioshock Infinite, a must-play, is only $6 at 78% off. Mafia Definitive Edition, this is kind of one of the newer ones, $26.39 right now. Rise of the Tomb Raider, only $5. It's 83% off. The Middle Earth Shadow of War, a game you've heard me talk about plenty of times, is 84% off for only $9. And then, of course, 2020's Marvel's Avengers is 57% off, making it $25.50. They just added Hawkeye. I think not Hawkeye, but Kate Bishop, his daughter, to there. So there's a brand new character added, and you get her as well. So check it out, guys. Green Man Gaming. The link is in the description. Thank you for your support. Throughout 2020, the money we've raised through the ads and stuff like that have gone to creating studios for each of our homes while we dealt with a pandemic, including the mic I'm talking to you now. We just bought this mic this week with money from you guys, so we appreciate it. And we will continue to invest into the podcast through our sales. We have three more shows coming next year, all possible because of you guys. So we really appreciate it, and we hope you enjoy the show. All right, let's go ahead and get into the best of 2020. The way we're going to do it this year, guys, we're going to do a voting thing of it. But 2020 was such a wackadoo year that instead of going into what's the best of, we're going to be, and having you guys vote, we're just going to go over what was our favorites and kind of discuss them as we go. Jonathan, let's start with you. What was your favorite movie from 2020?
So that was easy because I think I only saw one new movie, or at least one new movie that I could remember from 2020 was New Mutants. And I thought it was pretty good. So it was either going to be my best or my worst. So I'm going to say it's my best.
Yeah.
That
narrows it down.
Yeah, it's a pretty good movie, though.
Yeah. What about you, Daniel? What was your favorite movie for 2020?
That's tough. I actually have a little list.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah. Because we're going to go over some of the other movies that we're not picking right now, too. So there's that, too.
Okay. I liked Sonic the Hedgehog, but then, I also liked Enola Holmes.
Enola Holmes, that is your pick, because Sonic the Hedgehog came from the year before.
No, so I looked it up. It said 2020.
Did it? No.
Yeah, it said 2020 when I looked it up.
I thought for sure Sonic came out last year. Okay. So,
maybe on DVD or something like that.
Well, either way, and Enola Holmes was a surprise hit. Daniel texted me the day it came out. He's like, "Hey, did you watch Enola Holmes yet?" I'm like, no, man, it just came out.
I'm sure Holmes fan all of a sudden.
I'm not the guy who's like, "Holy cow, guys, Enola Holmes is out." But Daniel told me about it, and he actually I'll give it to Daniel. He kept saying Frank, did you watch it yet? Frank, did you watch it? Finally, I watched it, and I can see them making a series out of this, like a few movies out of this thing.
Well, there is a
Really
book
good
series.
cast. Oh, is there? I didn't know there was a book series.
Yeah, there is a book series. So I'm hoping that they continue it, and hopefully, Henry Cavalier
Ca-
is
Cavill?
still
Henry Cavill.
Cavill is
Yeah.
still Sherlock Holmes, because that would be amazing.
He
Now,
did
wasn't-
good. He is a new kind of Sherlock. I liked it. It's like more of a cocky, but like less
Yeah.
throwing out just straight wit. It was really good. Yeah.
Was this produced by Robert Downey Jr. and his production company? Oh, okay. Because they talked about making their own production company that's all Sherlock Holmes related stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Downey Street production company. That's him and his wife own that. They're working on a new Sherlock Holmes universe. They're going to be doing. That's all kinds of those. This is actually so the trademark on Sherlock Holmes himself is up for grabs. So anybody can make a Sherlock Holmes movie if you want to. They had a problem because Enola Holmes isn't quite that way, but luckily they still were able to get it out and stuff like that. But yeah, there was a little bit of a trademark snafu with that one. But yeah, that was a really good pick, Daniel. I liked that one.
Oh, well, Sonic came out August 21st, 2020. So that's a
Did it
good.
really? Because I saw it in theaters, and I know I didn't go to the theaters this year.
What? It's August 21st.
Yeah, no, you're good. That still throws me off though. All right, let's go ahead and go into some of the other movies. Oh, my favorite was Hamilton. It was the only movie that when it came out, I was like, oh, hey, let me stop what I'm doing and watch this. I've been a big fan of the music from the musical for a few years now, so there's a lot of songs I already knew, and so that helped, of course, when you have that kind of hype. But yeah, what are some of the other movies that came out this year? We have Mulan. Jonathan, you watched Mulan, and that didn't break your list.
It was pretty good. It wasn't great, but there was definitely some shortfalls in it. But yeah, overall, I'd say it was good. You should watch it, especially if you haven't watched the Disney Mulan. You don't have an expectation to match it to, then you probably think it's a good movie. But yeah, it wasn't in my tops.
And then we have, The Call of the Wild. That was the Harrison Ford flick where he's out there, and it's kind of a retelling of the old school book. That was pretty successful. I know the parents were really big fans of that one. What other ones did we have this year that you guys could think of? Because it was really hard looking back on this list. And it's like, what did I even watch this year? This year just kind of went by in a weird blur, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I didn't
got
watch
one.
any new movies.
Bad Boys for Life. That one came out. That was a good. I liked it.
That came out this year too?
Yeah.
Daniel, are you looking at the best of 2019?
Yeah, that's all I'm looking at. No, Bad Boys for Life came out in 2020.
Yeah. Did you guys have a chance to watch Tenet? I haven't seen Tenet yet.
No.
I've been hearing like real mixed reviews on that one.
Yeah.
So I got to check that out. Old Guard was good. The Invisible Man, that was really good. Let's say Sonic came out in 2020. Did this year totally screw me up enough to not remember that Sonic came out in 2020? That still blows my mind. Because I thought I saw it in theaters, but okay. That's how this year went, guys. Okay, and then I think that was kind of it. There really wasn't anything else that really caught my attention this year. Again, for movies, real lackluster. Let's go ahead and go into TV shows, which I think really thrived this year because everybody was at home, they were watching the shows and stuff like that. So I think this one, big year for TV. Daniel, let's go with you first. What was your big show from this year in 2020?
Ooh, that's tough. Let's see. Lock and Key, I guess. That's like the new show of 2020 that I've seen. I really enjoyed. But if I had to, it would be a final season of Supernatural. Tap.
Oh, that was, yeah. What? How many seasons did that show have?
What was it? 15?
15 seasons for that show.
Yeah.
That's pretty insane. Lock and Key, I can't suggest enough. That came out early February 2020. Yeah, February 7th. And then Supernatural. Was this the year they also had the 300th episode where they had Jeffrey D. Morgan come back, or was that last year?
No, that was last year.
Okay.
That was season 14.
Yeah, that was really good. Now, Walker's coming out next year. Is that in your top list for your next year shows?
Probably not. It looked a little disappointing when I seen the trailer, but it's hard to go off the little 2-minute trailer that they have for it. Especially, I'm a big fan of Walker Texas Rangers, so I'm really hoping they don't ruin the whole story. But I mean, it could be amazing. We'll
What's
see.
the name of the guy from Supernatural that's going to walk?
Jared Padalecki.
Padalecki. Okay. Yeah. So I mean, shoot, Supernatural's a really good choice there. That was, of course, a big hit. Jonathan, what about you? What are some of your TV show hits?
Oh man, so I'm sure you can easily agree. The Mandalorian, amazing, one of the best shows
Phenomenal.
of time so far, but especially of 2020. Mandalorian nailed it. Star Trek Discovery completely nailed it. But I'm gonna throw you guys a curveball. A show I just started watching that I thought was pretty funny. If you haven't seen it yet, it's on Netflix. It's called The Last OG. Have you guys heard of that?
I've heard of it. Yeah, it's from TBS. I haven't seen it yet, though.
It's not a Mandalorian or Discovery level, of course, but
Of course,
just to throw in something different there. It's pretty funny. It's got Tracy Morgan. Yeah, I keep wanting to call him Tracy Jordan. But yeah, it's just about like his life after prison and stuff. But it's a real funny show. It's kind of what can I compare it to?
Doesn't it have Tiffany Haddish too?
Yeah, she's his ex-wife.
She is so funny in everything she does.
Yeah, it's just a funny show, so I would check it out. It's like it's got that 30 Rock kind of humor, or a lot of the stuff
That's
he's
how you
in.
sell it to me right there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll have to check that out because I know it was on TBS. I didn't know that made the jump. I was kind of waiting for it to hit a streaming service that I was already subbed to. So that's perfect. Anything else? I mean, Mandalorian, you got to go in there and stuff like that too.
Yeah, those are amazing. I'm sure there's a lot more. I just didn't go through the list, so I'm sure they'll come up when we talk.
Yeah. Okay, so we have the final season of Schitt's Creek. It was fantastic, of course. We have this is a shout out from Squeaks. He really liked Lovecraft Country. He couldn't be here today, but Lovecraft Country's on his list. But for me, so we had Fargo. Guys, oh man, Fargo is already just a fantastic series. But this one had Chris Rock. It has this warring families back in like, I want to say it had to be the 60s to the 40s, like in that range. And Chris Rock does such a good job in dramatic roles. There's sometimes when he's doing these bits where he's like overly kind of dramatic, and you're watching him and you kind of see him kind of break out into that angry thing when he does a stand up. He does like that angry, like mad thing. You kind of see that happening. But man, he did such a good job. And there's these moments where he's like talking to his son that's being, taken by another family and stuff like that. And you can just like see on his face. He killed it. He really needs to be up for some sort of an award for this year's performance. That was Fargo. Really fantastic. Another big hit for me was Ted Lasso. We talked about it a few times on the podcast. Me and Squeeze both watched it. It's about a guy. Of course, you guys probably remember the 2013 two commercials that came out about Ted Lasso. They took those and made a series out of them, and it was super fun to watch. Just a humorous show about a man who's like a high school level football coach that gets taken over to coach one of the Premier League teams over in the UK, and how he's just like kind of like a high school coach, where he's like, he puts a big paper sign that just has believe written on it. And these guys are all multimillionaires from professional sports. And he's over there, like, as he goes into his office, he keeps tapping the believe sign. Like he's, again, some high school coach. It's really fun. And it's a blast to watch. And man, it just made me happy. So that's a really big one too, guys. So I'm probably going to be my number one is probably going to be Fargo, but definitely Ted Lasso's up there on it. So it's a really close one. All right, let's move on to our next thing, video games. I'll go ahead and start off with our best video games from 2020. All right, my best game from 2020 is going to be Spider-Man Miles Morales for the PS5. It was a lot of fun. That city's gorgeous, and I love just swinging around that city. I could swing around it all day. And the acting and the voice acting and like that, very good. They did this like the motion capture on Miles Morales and stuff like that. Just it makes you. It's like you're watching a movie. Every time there's a cutscene, I just put down the controller and I'm like in. I want to see what's happening with Miles. It was really, really well done. I do want to give a special shout out to Animal Crossing though, because while I thought it was okay, it wasn't quite my playstyle. I really liked like when the pandemic first kicked in and everybody was in those lockdown at home orders. Animal Crossing was a good way that people were kind of sharing with each other and hanging out and having fun, which I think it's important to acknowledge that because it was the introductory into video games for so many people. There's a lot of people who haven't played video games before and they're like, well, everybody's playing this Animal Crossing to connect. And so that was really cool to see that it brought so many people into the gaming community. Yeah, which is the number one entertainment industry in the world. People don't know that, but it actually is.
And to speak to that, my niece bought her own. She saved her own money to buy a Switch just so she could play Animal Crossing. Now she plays it all the time, and lately she's been watching streamers play other games. So she's wanting to get into gaming a little bit. That's kind of cool.
And
That's
this
awesome.
it's a good introductory into video games. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, Jonathan, what were your big gaming hits for 2020?
So I don't think I played any new games that just came out in 2020, but I'm pretty sure I started Sea of Thieves this year,
Mhm. You did, yeah.
which is amazing. Uh, Raft was a game I bought, but it's just okay. And then lately I've been playing Assassin's Creed Origins, but yeah, none of those are new games. I don't think I've played any brand new games to 2020.
Yeah. I think
Um,
on that vein, Satisfactory came out the year before, came out in 2019, but
mm,
I discovered it this year and it just boom. That was one of my new favorites. That's a really good one.
yeah.
But yeah, it's super good. Daniel, what about you, man? What is your big game from 2020?
My big game for 2020 was The Last of Us 2,
Okay.
and
Okay.
then World of Warcraft Shadowlands.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know. I probably should have had that
yeah.
on my list, but
I had to put it on the list because that's what we're playing right now.
yeah, and it's of course taking up a lot of time and stuff like that. It's classic. We do stream that often, guys. Shadowlands, usually doing dungeons and not being happy with no loot dropping.
Yeah.
So I still can't get a weapon, Daniel, to save my life. It's unreal. Can't believe this. All right, let's move on to comic books. I'll start off. Well, actually, let's start with you guys. Have you guys read much comic books this year?
No,
I
none.
actually I kept reading stuff that I had from previous years that I never got to. I buy them and put them on the shelf
Yeah.
and don't get to them. So nothing brand new. But I finally finished Saga, which has
Mhm.
like such a sad and complete ending. But I hope they find a way to continue it.
Well,
But
there's
yeah,
supposed to be one more book coming out, I believe, right?
I don't know, issue 55 because they stopped on 54.
Well, when you finished that last one, did it have a complete finish?
Pretty complete. I mean, it didn't like wrap up some little loose ends and stuff, but
Oh, okay. I
it's
thought
kind
there
of
was
a
one more, but okay.
big because it was the end of that third hardback book. So if they're gonna make any more, I would assume they would make enough to make another book.
I thought so, but wow, okay, okay, that's good to know.
Yeah,
I've been kind of waiting around to read the last few until that last one came out, so that's good. I'll catch up on. But yeah, you're right. This year was exactly that. I had all kinds of like comic books that were sitting on the shelf. Like I'll get to this one, I'll get to that one. Whenever we go to the local comic cons, I try to pick up a couple like local guys. And I had a bunch of those sitting on the shelves and stuff like that. This year, boy, I caught up on all of those. I'm just now going to be starting Walking Dead. I'm going to read the entire Walking Dead franchise now that I found that comic book. Um, so I'm reading all the Walking Deads. Been reading Avatar, one of those that's kind of been sitting on the shelf. Like I need to get to the Avatar ones and read that. And it's amazing how much the Avatar comics are straight up like watching an episode. Like
yeah.
the mannerisms, everybody has the same personality.
They're a very good continuation off of the same story.
Yes, super good. So been doing that. As for new comic books in 2020, Thor has been really good. We have, I think it's Donnie. Let me double check before I go shooting my mouth off. Yeah, Donnie Cates. He's doing the series. And it's just like he's at one point becomes Herald of Galactus. It's just, I mean, it's just such a really fun run, and he's got the whole we got Black Winter stuff. It's Thor like they should be doing in the movies. Although I'm really happy with the Thor movies, like this Thor should be in the movie somehow. So I'm hoping that at some point we adapt this Thor into it, and it's been really cool. And they're now bringing in like his old alter ego and stuff like that's coming back, and so it's really cool. Uh, it's been a lot of fun. And Donny Cates never fails, so it's gonna be good. Um, Suicide Squad's been pretty decent and stuff like that, but for the most of the we've already talked about this in the past as well. Most of DC has been really disappointing to me personally this year, so I'm not really a big fan of like what they did with Batman himself. I'm okay with, but what the three Jokers thing came out this year and all this metal stuff has been really a letdown. So I'm sticking with Thor. That was my best of 2020. All right. Uh, any other things that you guys want to shout out from 2020? Let's do this too. So I'm going to start us off on this. I was thinking we should do this. What are some of the good things that happened in 2020? Because of course this year's been kind of a downer in general. What are some of the good things that happened in 2020? I've thrown this at you guys at random, so I'm going to go first. The stream, our Twitch channel became an affiliate, so that's pretty cool. That's where we hit, I think we're at 92 subscribers now on Twitch and stuff like that, which we don't stream enough, I'll admit. And that's one of the 2021 goals is to stream more often with an actual set schedule. But we did hit a new level, and that was kind of when pandemic started. That was the pandemic resolution, to get that done. So we got that. We had major growth in the podcast. In the beginning, it was kind of a slow start because, of course, nobody's driving to work and that slows down podcast listening. But once people kind of got used to what 2020 was going to look like, it was a banner year for us and it was our best year listener wise. We really grew in a lot of the international markets and stuff like that. And so, of course, we really appreciate that. That's all you guys. The other thing that was just kind of like this thing that came out this year that I was really happy about, lo-fi music. Have you guys heard about lo-fi music yet? Dan, I'm surprised you haven't heard about lo-fi music.
No.
It's big in the gaming community.
Is it?
It's new. It's this kind of, I think it's a new genre. It's like a few months old or whatever, but I can't get enough of it. And they take this music, kind of like this chill beats music. They'll put like an old track behind it that's it's just like a record playing that like little pops and stuff like that for record. And a lot of times my favorite versions are lo-fi musics that take like the theme songs from shows and make lo-fi music out of it. There's this Mandalorian one that I have on repeat. I'll have to show you guys, but it's really good for when you're just sitting there reading or when you're playing games or something like that. Lo-fi music, that's kind of like my 2020 gem. I had to make my my Oprah's list. You know, Oprah used to do that list that she'd give everybody something in the audience. Lo-fi music's my thing. But yeah, what 2020 awesomeness happened to you guys this year? Jonathan.
I think overall, I mean, 2020 has been horrible. A lot of people have lost family members, so I'd say we're pretty blessed that none of us have lost family yet this year.
We're trying to end on a positive note, Jonathan.
Right? Family's all alive. That's positive. Yeah, I can't think of anything specific that was like fantastic in 2020.
Yeah,
with your wife or anything.
It's almost done. Oh yeah, that's true. That's positive. Yeah, my wife's pregnant. We're gonna have a baby in February. So
that's awesome. That was huge news for 2020.
Yeah,
that was really cool.
Like I can't think of anything good that happened this year. Oh yeah, that's true.
Oh, that's right. I got expenses coming.
Right.
There's this bill in February I gotta pay.
Yeah.
Daniel, what about you? How's your what good things happened to you in 2020?
I didn't catch COVID. Like honestly, there wasn't really anything big for me. Like
we'll take that positive.
Working every day and just gaming.
Hey,
I mean, that's the only good thing.
You got to stay employed throughout 2020. That's pretty impressive.
And you had a good excuse to stay home and game and not have to go out and see people in the real world.
Yeah, that is a good one.
That was a soft positive. The fact that like being a hermit was acceptable for a year.
Encouraged.
Yeah.
When it said stay home, okay.
Frank, why don't you go golfing? Frank, why don't you go bowling? Frank, why don't you go to the theaters? And it's just like, yeah, but you guys know there's like World of Warcraft, right? I see people in there. So yeah, it was okay to be a hermit for a year. That's kind of nice. Any other positives you guys could think of from this year? And then we'll go to 2021.
Negative.
Yep. Negative.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's like nothing. There's no positives really.
It's almost over. That's a positive.
Yeah. This COVID just made this year just horrible.
All right. Well, let's look at this awesome year ahead of us, 2021. We're gonna start with movies. We're gonna talk about a couple of the movies that are coming up, and you guys talk about your favorite ones. Some of these movies were delayed, of course, from last year. That makes sense. Like Black Widow and Kingsman. I think Black Widow is going to be good. I'm very excited for Kingsman. That's the prequel to the Kingsman series. Any of those, any delayed games from or movies from 2020 you guys are hyped for?
Delayed movies.
Yeah.
I don't know which ones were delayed, but I'm excited for Ghostbusters and A Quiet Place 2.
Okay, I think Ghostbusters actually was.
Yeah.
A Quiet Place 2. Oh, I cannot wait for that. That is going to be really good. Made by the same people, made by John Krasinski and everything like that. Yeah. It's really good. What about you, Daniel?
That's a scary movie, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Oh, yeah, Daniel and scary movies. Have we talked about this before? When Daniel's over at our house, and we're going to watch Exorcist, and Daniel's like, I can't do this. I'm not going to sit here and watch Exorcist. It's too scary.
I'm standing by the door the whole time.
So you stay by the door with your hand on the door handle, and you watch a good 50% of the movie. Like half the movie, guys. Because we kept, hey, Daniel, why don't you come sit down? You're watching the movie already. As it is like, no, guys, I'm heading out. And you're just like sitting there watching the movie.
Just in case something happened, I just bolt out of there.
And then there's that one part where the guy had like his head up against the door and like the drill comes through the door.
Oh man!
I think you actually opened the door at that point. You're like, oh, this might be it. This might be the time I leave. I might be getting at the house. Oh man. That was freaking Daniel. But yeah, so I would say from the delayed movies, I think The Kingsman is probably my favorite one. But I am excited for Black Widow. That's gonna be really good. Some other 2021 movies we have coming up. We have, of course, let's go Marvel. We'll go Eternals. That's gonna be, I think it's late November now. That was actually delayed as well. We have Shang-Chi. Now, okay, let me ask you. I've always heard it as Shang-Chi, but then I was watching Kevin Feige, the guy that runs Marvel and MCU. He was saying like Shang-Chi. I never heard of it as Shang-Chi, so I'm not sure. If I'm wrong, guys, hit me up on Twitter. Let's find this out the right way.
I've never heard it in either version. Shang-Chi or Shang-Chi.
Get ready. It might be one of the best Marvel movies we get. It's going to be this cool Kung Fu Marvel movie. I'm excited to see those two combined together. We have, the new Mortal Kombat movie coming up. We have Venom 2. Daniel's a Venom fan, right?
Yep. I have that on my list right now.
You
Venom
do? What
2
else
and
do you have on your list?
007, No Time to Die.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm good. I'm good on that. Yeah, I would like to see that. Yeah.
And then another good one that was announced, I think last month, Spider-Man, with all those original cast coming back.
Ooh, that's gonna be a mess. So many people coming back.
Oh man, I'm so excited for that.
I hope they do good. I hope it's a fun script. I hope it's a good script. That I cannot believe. Again, it's one of those things where as a kid you're just like, it's impossible, and now you're sitting here and it's like every Spider-Man ever is in this thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so unreal. That'd be really cool. Hopefully, we get some Miles Morales out of it too. Now that I'm thinking about it, but that'd be really cool. And the birth of Sinister Six, like it's going to introduce the Sinister Six into the Marvel world, which is really cool. Anything else on your list, Daniel? While we got your list up?
No, it was Venom 2, 007, and Spider-Man. That was pretty much it. That's the ones I'm excited for.
I'm really looking forward to Mission Impossible 7. That's supposed to come out later this year, and I was always going to be excited for it because Mission Impossible movies they're always good. But then after that rant he went on, did you guys hear about this Tom Cruise rant?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I heard about it, but then I heard it was just like a little stunt to hype up the movie or something like that. That's what I heard. Right. But
wait, did you hear it from that guy at work?
Oh no, not that
guy. Daniel be straight bringing like internet, the walking talking internet guy from work to bring his facts in. Yeah. No, I don't believe it was a stunt. Could have been. I could be wrong. But yeah, when he went on that rant about those guys like not following COVID protocols and stuff like that, that actually got me more hyped for it. I know that some people are on the opposite side of that, but I was like, yeah, I do want to see this more if he's taking it seriously. So, Mission Impossible is always good. Morbius. What do you guys think about this? Is gonna actually bring in Blade essentially into the MCU. All right, it should be his first foray. What are you guys' thoughts on Morbius joining Marvel?
I think I'll probably watch it, but I'm not super hyped about it. Like I hope it's good, but I'm not going to set the bar too high.
Yeah, I'll probably watch it in 2020. So if it comes out 2021, I'll probably watch it 2022, maybe around there.
I was gonna say, how are you gonna watch it right now?
Not really super. Yeah, I know I messed up. I kind of not really hyped about it.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be to his benefit though, because I too am not very hyped about it, and that'll kind of get me like, okay, I'll watch it, and it'll be pretty good. We'll have to see. We have a new Rugrats movie coming up, and from my understanding, it's live action. Are you guys gonna go watch that?
Well, live action. How are you gonna do
Charlotte's face is no.
Yeah, no, I'm right. I'm thinking like, what's that baby movie that came out when we were young? Where it's like
Baby Geniuses.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's just like all those pet movies where the pets look at each other and talk, but it's babies but they're like telepathic and it's just like, is that what Rugrats gonna be? Because I mean, now we have CGI and stuff where they can make it look like the babies are talking, but I don't know. Good luck.
We'll see. Yeah, I'm hoping they get some of the voice actors back. That's my key thing because I think that makes it. Chucky's voice is so iconic and stuff like that. You got to bring those back. Yeah. We have a new M. Night Shyamalan movie coming up. Now, the way that M. Night movies work is he holds off on revealing what they are as long as possible. So this comes out February 26th. We still don't know what it's called. I'm sorry, 2022. We still don't know what it's called, but we got a year to wait, guys. So don't listen to me.
So
we had that new yeah, I know. Ghostbusters Afterlife looks really good. Coming to America. It's a sequel to Coming to America. That'll be coming up really good. We have Masters of the Universe that'll be out this year. Tom and Jerry looks good. I'm trying to look through this. Is there any other big ones you guys could think of?
Free Guy looks good with Ryan Reynolds.
Oh yeah, with Ryan Reynolds. Yeah.
So I'm hoping that's good. I'm hoping it's good because I like Ryan Reynolds, but I know I'm the only person on the planet that doesn't like Deadpool. But I want his career to steer away from that and go to better, more family-friendly, funny stuff. And I know Green Lantern was just a stain on his record, so let that go away. Move past Deadpool, get into something better. We'll see though. I know Deadpool's kind of big.
So much better than like all the DC movies that came out.
True. Let it just go down with the rest of DC. No, it's Marvel.
It's Marvel.
Yeah.
At least Jonathan admits though he's like the only person on the planet that doesn't like Deadpool. Yeah. So I mean, at least he admits it. He's not.
I was disappointed in number 2, but I really like number 1.
Really, I still liked it though. I mean, it wasn't as good as number 1, but I still liked it.
Also, there's Space Jam 2 coming out. I'm pretty sure I'll have to check that out when it's
with King James. Yeah, that's gonna be good. I'm excited.
I haven't seen the trailer for it, but there's Minions: Rise of Gru. All the Minions movies are cute, so I'll probably end up buying that too.
Yeah, add it to the collection. Yeah, those are always good. I was really surprised if you guys brought up Godzilla versus Kong.
I don't care for Godzilla movies. I don't know. They're super.
Really? The last one was good.
Yeah,
it was really good. I actually enjoyed it.
I think that's probably on Squeaks' list. But yeah, it's one of those things where I'll watch it, but I don't think I'll like catch it day one, kind of thing. Oh, Jordan, there is a trailer for the Minions though. Check that out.
Yeah.
Jungle Cruise actually looks good. So I can't stand all this live action stuff that Disney's doing, but when they base it off a ride, for some reason I'm more excited about it, and that doesn't make much sense. Jungle Cruise especially is a very basic ass ride. We've all probably been. I know Jonathan has, probably Daniel too. You sit in a boat, animatronic animals come out and just like as a big buff or hippo or whatever. That's all it is. They're making a whole movie about it, and it's got Dwayne the Rock Johnson, got Emma Thompson. It's gonna be really good. I'm looking forward. Or I'm sorry, Emily Blunt. And it just looks funny. It looks like it's gonna be like it kind of feels like it's gonna be Jumanji, which I like the new Jumanji movies, so those are always good. Which Jonathan, I think this is the first year you watched Jumanji, right?
In 2020? No, I still haven't seen the new ones yet.
I've seen both of them.
Yeah.
Jonathan hasn't seen the new ones yet, guys.
I've only seen the original with Robin Williams.
It shits on the original.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
it actually really it actually does. Straight up, like if you take the nostalgia out of it, it straight up does.
Yeah, the commercial when it first came out just looked so cheesy and cheap and just maybe slapstick for like 10-year-olds. So it's just like no, I'm good. But I'll have to watch it at some point.
It was really good.
I really suggest it. We have Dune coming up. Now we were gonna do like the whole audio. I should explain what's going on with Audible, by the way. I'll do that in a sec. We're gonna do the Audible book for Dune and then watch Dune together and then review Dune. So all that got pushed back. So we're gonna do the same thing, but it's gonna be October 1st, 2021. So we'll do it like in September. We'll hype up Dune and watch that right beforehand, and then everybody go see it together. We have the new Unchartable movie. Or Unchartable. Oh, real quick on Audible. So kind of a little peek into what's going on for 2021. Squeaks is starting a new show. It'll be on this feed called Push to Talk. This is the first time you guys heard about this, and I wish Squeaks was here to talk about it. It's going to be a free-form show where we just sit there and discuss different topics. He'll be bringing on different people. It'll probably be me a lot of times because I have the loosest schedule. But yeah, he'll be bringing on people and stuff like that, and just kind of it's a free-form show, so a much more of a talk show. And in that show, we're going to be launching the Audible review thing for Sandman, and then our next one will be in that too. So that's why it's all kind of getting delayed is the whole Audible thing, because we're waiting for the Push to Talk to be done and ready to go. So he's still working on that. So he bought the equipment. He got more equipment actually for Christmas too. So he's like, oh sweet, it's good. I'm like, good. So that's all coming. It's on its way. All right, Uncharted. Daniel, did you play Uncharted?
No, Squeaks did.
Squeaks, of course. We're talking so much about a guy who's not here right now. And then of course we have Snake Eyes. It's G.I. Joe is back. It's going to be following Snake Eyes. He's of course, I think he's everybody's favorite G.I. Joe. He's the ninja. And then of course, we have new Fantastic Beasts, and we'll see who's on the cast of that one. It's still a shifting cast. And then Matrix 4 coming up in December, and that's probably the best one to finish things off with is Matrix 4. The cast is back for that, and that'll be really cool to see. I think there won't be a Morpheus this time, which is a shame because Morpheus he's my jam. So that's too bad. All right, let's go to video games next. Daniel, we'll start with you. What are some of the games you're hyped for out of 2021?
Resident Evil 8 or
Mhm.
Village, whatever they call it, and then
Well, yeah. Which way would you go with that? Would you go 8 or would you go Village?
I'll just go off 8. I just
Yeah,
like to call their numbers, refer them to their numbers. And then Halo Infinite.
Halo Infinite. Yeah, I think I'm
Uh,
excited.
Yeah, those are the two big ones that I'm pretty much excited for.
Yeah. Are you gonna get Halo Infinite right away, or are you gonna wait a little bit?
I'll probably go wait a little bit because I gotta see what Jared wants to do because he wants to like get together and do like this all nighter thing. So I guess.
I think. Well, see, here's the thing. I don't think Infinite's gonna play like the old games. I think it's gonna be much more of a live service game.
Mm,
So I'm a little worried about like doing an all nighter because I think it's just gonna be like, well, let's do an all nighter in Destiny kind of thing.
yeah.
Um, I am pretty worried about Infinite's state right now.
Yeah.
We've lost the guy in charge of it, the lead game designer, stuff like that, and it's going through a lot of the woes we would see right before, like say, Cyberpunk. I think I might wait a little bit, let all those bugs hit and get fixed before I jump in. We'll see if I'm playing something else and it's distracting me quite a bit, then okay. But if I'm not playing anything, then maybe like, all right, let's go check out these bugs. Then we'll have to see. Yeah, I'm excited for it, but it's funny that Cyberpunk has got me worried about Fallout a lot.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, Halo. But yeah, that's a good one. Do you have anything else on your list?
That's really it
That's your
for
two big
games
hits.
that I'm excited for.
Yeah. What about you, John?
I'm so far behind on games. I don't have anything in the horizon. I'm gonna keep playing old games. I figured now, like I like so far Assassin's Creed Origins, and I think about halfway
Yeah.
through it. So I'm gonna keep an eye out for that on like Steam sales and stuff. Get all the other Assassin's Creed games. And there was something else. One of you guys was telling me I need to really try. Maybe it was Red Dead Redemption.
I've always
Or
said that. Red Dead Redemption 2.
oh, I
You should
said
always
Death
play it.
Stranding the other day.
Oh, Death Stranding, yeah.
Death Stranding.
So either of those, whenever I find games like that on sale, 10, $20, I'm going to get them and put them in my library and get to those. I want to start playing more games, but no need to jump to the new games that are full priced when I can be playing a lot of old, good games that I haven't got to yet.
Yeah, really, you're kind of going through the game of the years right there. I mean, those are two game of the years right there. One was 2019, the other was 2018.
Yeah.
Two game of the year, so you really can't go wrong with either of those. But yeah, those are good picks.
And what about you?
I'm excited for a lot this year. So we have Hogwarts Legacy, which is this new Harry Potter game. And it takes place at a time without Harry Potter, stuff like that. So it's going to be about Hogwarts itself and about you becoming a character in that world. It looks really cool. It looks kind of MMO-y and stuff like that. You know, that always has me hooked. Far Cry 6, man. Far Cry games never steer me wrong. They're always entertaining and fun. And this one has Giancarlo Esposito. I said his name right. I actually practiced that freaking name. Has Giancarlo Esposito.
I like that.
Man, I was after Mandalorian. I was like, I'm gonna get this name right, and so now it's in there. It's seared. So I'm really excited for that. He's the bad guy, and he's like teaching his son how to be a bad guy and stuff like that. Cool. So that's gonna be really good. We have Psychonauts 2, which the trailers have been really bad for, but I trust the team behind Psychonauts, so I'm hoping for something good. We'll see. We have a new Lord of the Rings game finally called Golem. It's going to be, of course, about Golem. That'll be interesting. I think it's going to be a bit of a stealth. Looks like it's going to be kind of a stealth game. I'm going through a lot of games here. Sorry, guys. Obviously, that's kind of where I'm leaning into 2021. We have Skull and Bones, which is going to be Ubisoft, I think it is the one making it. It's going to be their version of kind of a Sea of Thieves type game. Speaking of Sea of Thieves, that is our next level up, and we're recording it this week, so it'll be up right before New Year's. So yeah, so expect that like the week you're listening to this episode. But yeah, let's see anything. Oh, Back for Blood. We're gonna be buying that all day one, and we're gonna be streaming that. So, Back for Blood. I know Squeaks and I, anyways, are gonna be buying that day one, so you guys could check out our stream for that. And it's the sort of sequel to Left 4 Dead, so it's gonna be like Left 4 Dead. You guys can check that out. Any other games we might have missed before we head on to the next thing?
Thinking back, I was just thinking about the 2020 games. This might be 2019. But Among Us was a big deal lately too, just like Animal Crossing. That kept all my nieces and nephews all entertained and stuff. So I think that was kind of a smash hit. I don't know if that was from 2020 or 2019 though.
Real interesting. No, so that actually came from like the year before or even 2018 maybe. But some streamer was playing it and got it famous. And so now that's when it blew up. And it's actually, you mentioned it earlier, John, and I don't know if you know this or not. Raft is big all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And it's because some streamer played it, and now all of a sudden people are like checking out Raft for the first time.
Yeah,
like,
I just played it because
a while.
A friend was like, "Oh yeah, it's a really cool game. You should try it out." And I was like, "I never even heard of it, but all right, I'll check it out." It was only like $18 or something. And yeah, it's amusing. It's not like the best game, but it's entertaining, so it's something fun.
Yeah. Scott's playing it again, and he actually put in a mod that makes it so the shark can't destroy your ship, which I think is a big plus for that game because that's kind of what slows me down so much is when the shark's like just sitting there beating the hell out of you. All right, let's go into the shows that we're excited for 2021. Let's go ahead and talk about some of the shows that are coming back and any new shows that you guys might have. Jonathan, let's start with you. What are you looking forward to TV-wise coming out in 2021?
There's a new Star Trek coming out. Of course, I'm big into Star Trek. I like all of them. I want to go through and watch them all. I've said that many times. There is a new one called Star Trek Prodigy. It's gonna have Kate Mulgrew in it. I'm pretty sure it's an animated one. I haven't seen any kind of trailer or something like that for it yet, but I'm excited for more Star Trek content. Of course, Star Trek Discovery continuing, and then more Mandalorian. So I want to see more of Star Trek and Star Wars in the next year. And I know there's a bunch of Marvel. There's supposed to be 10 Marvel series coming out, or spin-offs coming out in the next year or two, and 10 Star Wars spin-offs coming out in the next year or two. So I'm excited for all that, even though we don't have details on most of them. I know WandaVision's the only one I can think of off the top of my head. That
WandaVision looks so good, man. That's going to be so important for the whole franchise.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that's a good launch for their upcoming series.
Yeah, Falcon and Winter Soldier is going to be good. Yeah. Disney's really kicking it up this year. By the way, The Mandalorian season 3 is not coming out until 2022. We just found that out this week.
What the?
I know.
Getting ripped off. Who do I need to write to?
What? Yeah. Stop all Star Wars movies and just work on the next Mandalorian. Well, the reason is because they're working on the Book of Boba Fett, which is one of the spinoffs they hadn't announced before, but they announced after the series came out. So it's because they're working on a Boba Fett series right now. Then they'll work on season 3 of Mandalorian.
They have money. They can make it go faster if they want to, though, right? I'm pretty sure the reason there's no fire under them is because Baby Yoda sold like fire. Mandalorian armor, it's beautiful. Yeah. The whole show, everybody loved it. So they have tons of attention and tons of time and opportunity to just be selling merch for that stuff. They don't need to pump out new content until people get kind of bored with what they have on shelves from that.
They need to find a new toy seller. Maybe like a baby General Grievous or a baby Mace Windu. I don't know, something like that. Let's make some more baby characters, I guess. Yeah. But yeah, they got to find something that'll do probably a new droid actually would probably be the trick. Is how they're going to do it. Maybe they'll find something like that. Pretty cool. All right, Daniel, let's go to you, man. What kind of TV shows are you looking forward to in 2021?
Well, for a new show, the Resident Evil Netflix series that's coming out. I'm excited for that. Recurring shows. I'm excited for Stranger Things season 4.
Yes.
Final season of Chilling Adventures of Sabrina.
Yeah.
Lock and Key. Season 2 and 3 got announced.
You were definitely a fan of that one. Yeah, season 3 got renewed. That's really good.
And then Cobra Kai that comes out January 1st or 3rd, something like that.
Yeah.
Season 3. I'm super excited for that too. That's pretty much it on my list, but yeah, I'm super excited for those 3 shows.
I still gotta watch Cobra Kai.
Or 4 shows. Oh,
which I'm a big Karate. Yeah, I know I'm a big Karate Kid fan back in the day. I just haven't watched Cobra Kai yet.
Like I said, you gotta get past that first episode, and then after that, it gets good.
And there's only 2 out so far. I could easily watch it. I just gotta get to it. What would you compare that show to? Like, is it is there another show you compare it to that is similar to this, similar to that?
No, it's not.
Is it
really.
comedy based or is it not really that funny?
No, it's not. It's not funny.
Okay.
It's just there's not really any shows that I watch that would compare to it, honestly.
Okay, just story driven. Okay.
Yeah, story driven.
All right. I definitely gotta watch that. Maybe because it's coming out January. Yeah, you said January 1st. January's gonna be pretty awesome.
Or 3rd, something like that.
Okay. January 15th, next season of Disenchanted comes out. I love Disenchanted. It's probably my most watched show on Netflix. This is one of those I'll put on when I go to sleep. So that's coming out pretty soon. So we have a couple things coming out in January. All right, my favorite series coming out in 2021. A lot of continuation ones. Peaky Blinders, the next series 6 coming out. Freaking Peaky Blinders. Maybe that actually is my most watched Netflix show. So good. I'm really excited for that. Also on Netflix, Nick Cage has a new series coming out that looks so stupid and great. It's called Nicolas Cage History of Swear Words. So he's gonna go over the history of each swear word. And the trailer alone, guys, I know we tweeted it. Check it out, guys. Starts January 5th. And he's gonna be like explaining where fuck came from and its entire history. So like doing the deep dive on it. It looks really good. And you could tell he's like he knows he's Nicolas Cage in it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he's kind of one of those things where it's just like, this is ridiculous. Let's learn about fuck. It's so good. So I'm really excited for that. There's a series about the Night Stalker. This sounds weird, but I like serial killers and murders and stuff like that. So the Night Stalker, of course, is a legendary one. So there's a new series for him, and it's coming up to Netflix as well. That's also in January. So January's gonna be pretty lit. Lord of the Rings. So the pilot just finished filming 2 days ago. They just wrapped filming. So I'm hoping it gets greenlit instantly and it's good so that we can see it by winter. It's going to be a tight fit for them to be able to get it done by then. I want them to, of course, do a good job. That's the most important thing. But hurry the hell up because I'm really excited for that. We have the Cowboy. I'm sorry, not Cowboy. The Winter Soldier and Falcon. Jonathan already kind of started that off, so I'll go with that too. I'm really excited for that. And then of course WandaVision. It's just going to be generally a really good year for TV. I think it's going to be really good. We're going to have I think Disney Plus is going to be the big hit this year because everything they announced during the investors call, that's all those shows and stuff like that. Most of that's coming out this year, so it's just going to be pretty crazy.
So is Loki coming out this year?
Loki, sorry, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, Loki's coming out this year too.
Oh.
Which actually is probably the one I'm most excited for, but it's
that one looks good.
I'm probably most excited for that, but WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier are in our way, and it's like those two are huge too. So it's gonna be
Falcon
crazy.
and Winter Soldier. I'm not a big fan of those combos. Maybe if it was like Captain America.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm excited for it because I don't think it's gonna be very superhero-y.
Oh.
I think it's gonna be more like a 24 kind of thing. So I'm excited for a good action show, with explosions and the budget. I mean, when you watch the scenes that you can see, the budget on that show is just crazy. It's so high. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, I wouldn't mind a Captain America show, especially that takes place kind of in the 40s, would be really cool. Like his adventures in World War II. I'd be very much on board with that. But yeah. All right, let's go into comic books. What comic book series are you guys looking forward to in 2021? I am not excited for this, but I can't start this list without, of course, mentioning DC's future state. So it's going to be huge in comic books. We're going to have a lot new versions of everybody coming out into the DC universe. I am excited for the new Batman. It's going to be with Tim Fox. That's Lucius Fox's son. Is going to be the new Batman. So we're gonna have like a whole new version of all of our superheroes. I think it's John that's taking over for Superman. I am excited for that. It is gonna be cool to see. I'm excited for that, for what that means, like the new stories. But the way that they're shoehorning it in, like the lead up has not been really good. So I'm hoping that the series, like this new generation of comic books, is good. But the lead up so far has been very disappointing. So I'm kind of hoping that they correct what I'm seeing. Other than that, though, we have Milestones is returning. So this was from the 90s, and we'll go ahead and talk about the main character, really, that everybody's excited for. But it's a whole series of comic books with prominently black characters from the 90s. They're bringing them all back. And this means that Static Shock series is coming back. So we're going to have a new Static Shock comic book series. All of a sudden, Daniel's leaning forward in his chair.
Uh-huh. I love Static Shock. That was my jam right there.
Would you read that? If you read that, I'll read that so we could discuss it.
Yeah,
Are you
I'll
down to
read
read some
that.
Static Shock comics?
I'm down.
Because I know like you were reading Batman Beyond, but are you still reading it, or did it kind of fall off for you?
I'm still reading it. I got both. I got two. I need to order more. I just been trying to save money so I don't order anything.
Yeah. And then again, like we were talking about before, 2020 has been a year of catching up on comics for a lot of us.
Well, just let me know when it comes out so I could order it.
Yeah, I definitely will. That'll be good. And then the thing I'm actually most excited for DC wise is going to be the Teen Titans Academy. So this new Teen Titans is kind of like this old version of Teen Titans 2. It's like the 2000 version of Teen Titans. The original cast is back, but they're starting a school to teach a new generation of Teen Titans how to be superheroes. It sounds kind of like if it sounds like the X-Men, if it was about the mansion more than about the X-Men going out and doing things. I think this is gonna be a lot of fun. I think it's gonna be a good place for shenanigans and stuff like that. So I'm always down for some good shanties in a comic books. That'd be really good. And then just continuations on, I think I might still watch because I kind of am trying to lean away from DC, but there's Flash that's always decent. But Thor run, guys. If you guys want a good comic book series to follow, Thor is a guaranteed hit. Please check out Thor, Donny Cates. And then also check out Venom. Venom has been amazing, and now we're getting this whole like deep. Recently, we've gotten this like deep backstory about Venom's people, the symbiotes and stuff like that. Now all that's coming to head. Everything's coming together now, and so you guys will be able to learn more about. It's becoming this whole new thing. There's multiple dimension Venom stuff going on right now. It's really, really cool. We got his son that's like a bad guy, and that's kind of a spoiler, so sorry about that. But you guys got to check that out. So Venom's a really good run too. I need to read more comics this year. I think that's going to be one of my. We might have to have like a list of 2021 resolutions. One of them's got to be read more comics.
So once the pandemic is cooled down and we're able to actually go places, I want to hit every convention that we can drive to, or at least that I can drive to.
Good point.
And I want to make it part of our regular podcast episodes is telling everybody that's at least in our area or across the country what conventions are coming up, so everybody could try to get to them. I know everyone's hyped and wants to go out to these kind of things now because they're tired of being stuck home all year, and we have fun at them. So I think it'd be a lot of fun. Try to get out.
I feel like they're all gonna get canceled again. I think BlizzCon's gonna do the same thing again, just do it online. Then it's all gonna.
The early ones, you're totally right now. For the early ones, I think you're right, but I hope only like the later end ones will still happen.
Like, I'm hoping to go BlizzCon. Like that's what I'm hoping for. But I don't see them doing it again.
Yeah, probably late summer, early winter. We might get.
That's what I'm hoping for right there, John.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. Those early ones are definitely getting canceled, and I'm hoping not the later ones. We'll see. I remember when we got to invited E3, and I'm like, I'm excited for this, guys, but I have a feeling E3 is not gonna happen. I have a feeling it's gonna cancel. Like, nah, it's gonna happen. No. And then here we are.
Well, the people that host these know that they make a lot more money when somebody shows up to a convention than just doing some online event. And they know that people are at home eager to go just mingle and socialize, let alone go to a convention. So as soon as it's safe, I'm sure they're going to be chomping at the bit to get their events open and get a lot of people in there. And it's a whole lot of revenue they're trying to make up for last year.
It's all about that vaccine. However fast they get that vaccine out, it's how fast they can do conventions, basically.
Yeah.
So Jonathan for Christmas bought me the Steadicam so that we could like stream as we're walking around and stuff like that. I ended up tweeting about it, but I ended up messing up because my short fat fingers and phones. I ended up saying that I gave it to you, but yeah, you gave it to me, and so we go like walk around and we'll stream the conventions, guys. We're gonna be going to, Silicon Comic Con, E3, BlizzCon, all the local cons, guys. Sometimes the local cons you find some of the cool crafts and stuff like that are really neat to see how people are making things, and you get a lot of the local writers, and they'll bring in like Jim Lee's been doing some of those things. It's a really good year. Another thing that resolution wise, it's a good idea is interview more comic book writers. We used to do it a lot, and then this year we kind of like, well, we're busy with other things. Let's kind of cool down on interviewing people. Well, we should do that more often. So we'll start reaching out to those and start getting that done. All right, we are now joined with Squeaks. Squeaks, how you been doing?
Squeaks, good. How you doing?
All right, we're going to be talking about Wonder Woman a little bit here. You had a chance to watch it. I had a chance to watch it. Right off the bat, what are your initial thoughts?
Yeah, so let's start with the opening scene. I'll give you my reactions to that. I thought it was a little corny. I was like, what's the feel? What are we trying to get at right now? I thought the whole time I was like, maybe we're watching a movie in a movie. Maybe Wonder Woman picked up an act and they wanted to do a movie of her, so that's why it was a little corny and whatnot. Not expecting that when we were watching Wonder Woman 1984, that was literally going to feel like I'm in the 80s watching this movie.
I would be down for a Wonder Woman 1884 though. That'd be interesting. Like all cowboys and shit. So I I liked the opening scene. Now, okay, so I talked to Daniel, who he actually in between the two recordings here, he had a chance to watch it too, and he felt that the second half was good, the first half was bad, and I was opposite of that. I thought the first half of the movie was good, and the back half was bad. Which way are you going with this? Or
I might
does that ring true at all?
um I might go the I might actually go with Daniel. Only because
Okay,
the after we were getting to the I guess action scenes and whatnot, it started to feel like
yeah,
okay, now I'm watching Wonder Woman. This is what I was expecting after watching the first one. Um I was just a little confused in the whole beginning really.
oh, really? Okay.
I
And,
think
and I actually really liked that first scene with. I mean, okay, so one of the big reasons I'm giving it a C. So let's just get that out of the way. My score for this is a C. It could slip as low as a C minus, but I'm feeling confident with a C. And in saying that, I'm not saying that the movie was like bad. A C is it's okay, it's all right. I watched it once. I don't think I'll watch it again because I know there's a lot of people out there that are like bombarding this movie. They're really hating on this movie because it's like almost fashionable now. And then you get a lot of people that are on the other side that are like, well, I'm a rebel because I like Wonder Woman, or you guys hate Wonder Woman because you hate women, and it's like that's not the case. If it's a poorly written movie, which is what I'm thinking, then it doesn't matter who's acting in the role or what the role's about. It's just a poorly written movie. I mean, the amount of plot holes in this film was so distracting. They just took me right out of it. I had a hard, and then the ending was awful. I hated the ending so much. So this kind of gives you guys an idea of where I'm at. So let's get your grade, and then we'll have you continue with what you thought about the rest of the movie after the opening.
okay, so I thought the ending was horrible as well. I really felt like let's just okay for Cheetah, for example. Okay, so we got a little bit of Cheetah. I really don't like the way that she became Cheetah.
Hmm.
Not a huge fan of it. And then the fact that she was done becoming Cheetah when the movie was over. And DC
Yeah,
really does not know how to put a universe together. Cheetah is one of those characters where this is a revolving villain. Like you could
yeah.
always just have this villain pop up in really any movies. Um, it doesn't even have to just be against Wonder Woman. It could be the next Justice League, and Cheetah could be a part of the villain team or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah, she's part of the Legion of Doom. Like,
there you go. Yeah,
build it. Let's do it.
yeah.
I'm in.
And but they just killed it. They just like, okay, she's
Yeah.
done now. So acting wise though, I'm not a big SNL fan, you know that, but I really did enjoy I don't know the names of these people. Um
Kristen Wiig.
and Kristen Wiig, I really actually did enjoy her acting. I think from watching Ghostbusters, I was kind of a little skeptical about it.
Yeah.
I just not not a fan of that movie. But you had a
Mhm.
thing you said too about people just bombarding this movie, which is it could be like oh woman lead or whatever, which is so dumb because we praised the first one like crazy.
The
Um,
first one was fantastic. Yeah,
yes,
especially the first two acts of the first one were some of the best in any superhero movie I saw.
oh yeah. Um, even the when she was storming that town, the whole war scene when she had to get in that
Oh,
town, then they did
loved
that
it.
whole little jump into the tower. That
Mhm.
was
And then
amazing.
even, like, right after that, the heart that was in there, it kind of felt like something we don't see in a lot of superhero movies.
Yeah.
And it was like, "Ooh, this is something unique that we haven't gotten before." I was
Hmm.
excited to see that again. Just
Yeah.
missed it.
I didn't really. Okay, so going through like watching an '80s film, it was
Mhm.
corny as shit, and that was the whole movie, and that I did not appreciate it because this is where we're okay. I'm over the '80s. We got it. Stranger Things nailed it. I don't need anything
Yeah,
more than '80s. Um,
oversaturation for sure.
yeah. But the thing was that it's coming from the first Wonder Woman, so your expectations uh for Patty Jenkins is way up here. So when
Of course.
it honestly feels like hey, I already passed the class with the B. Here's my final report. I don't give a shit about it, and I'm out. That's how this movie
Yeah.
felt to me.
Kinda senioritis in my opinion.
Yeah, there you
Uh,
go.
which by the way, when we're recording this, the news broke today that DC's now or Warner Brothers is now fast tracking Wonder Woman 3 because of the sales of this movie. So, we're gonna go over the story, you're doing that right now, but I also wanna talk about the release because, of course, that's so important too. It came out on HBO Max.
Yes.
So, but yeah.
Yeah. Uh, so it honestly felt like okay. So before Patty Jenkins, I was like, she could walk into that fucking big business meeting, put her feet on the table, and like, I want everything.
Yeah.
Now it's like, step back because
Mhm.
this is not worthy of that anymore. So it gets me a little skeptical of what she's gonna do with Star Wars
Rogue
Rogue Squadron.
Squadron.
Um, but I'm gonna go back to Christine Wiig and her acting. I thought Pablo Pascal was great. I thought the acting was fine.
Good
Like
show.
that's not the
Yeah.
it. It's all about. It's almost 2021, and I text you this too. I don't want to watch an 80s film. I don't mind if it was like the whole thing was the 80s film. It wasn't just like in the 80s, and that threw me
So
off when I was
yeah.
watching it.
So really the aesthetics were bad. Well, actually, okay, so actually to that point, that's something I was tweeting in the beginning of watching the film, is it kind of I liked the cheesiness a little bit just because it reminded me of the 80s superhero movies that I did like. But you're not on board with that either, because it wasn't just that it was set in the 80s. It actually, in a lot of ways, especially that first like two hero moments, felt like an early Batman or like that Flash show from the 80s, like that kind of thing, or maybe
Yeah.
90s, I don't know, but you know,
And a lot of
you
things
get
that
the
they
point.
would do, like a lot of what the villains would do is like the stone becomes part of Pablo, and then like, oh,
By the way, it's Pedro Pascal.
Pedro Pascal.
This is Mandalorian. We do not mess that name up.
I mean, honestly, he's Mando to me. So anything
Yeah,
past that, I
forever.
don't care.
Yeah. Well,
um,
by the way, people keep calling him like Dejar Djinn or whatever his real name is, the Mandalorian's real name. What? It is Mando. And that's
yeah,
Baby Yoda, by the
no,
way. It's not, no. Come on, guys. What
no,
are you messing the good things up?
you guys are just trying to show off that you think you like know all this lore, whatever.
Yeah,
Like, no, nobody cares about
exactly.
certain everything.
Right.
Um, I thought that was kind of cheesy. Also,
That was
the invisible jet. I could just like now channel this power in my hand and make the jet invisible.
out of
Like
nowhere. Yeah.
nowhere, nowhere.
To me, it felt like, oh, by the way, let me just invent a new power. Same thing with a whip. All of a sudden, the whip can do so many things, and I'm like, wait, can the whip do that? I was like Googling in the middle of this movie, like, can the whip do this? Oh, an additional power that she suddenly has that doesn't make any sense that she has right now is her ability to fly.
That was my
And like,
next one.
okay, yes, comic books, okay, yes, she can fly. Technically, she can glide, and then eventually she just straight up flies. But we've seen her in the future already when she cannot fly. And the next movie doesn't take place in between these two films. So why is she not flying in Batman
Oh
vs Superman?
shit.
Why is she not flying in Justice League?
Yeah. I actually didn't even think about that part. I was gonna talk about
Dude,
how
the fucking plot holes in this movie are so frustrating.
I was just gonna
Ugh.
talk about the flying, how fucking corny it was. Like just I mean, yeah, the whole film was
Yeah.
corny. Um
Yeah.
but that's another thing that's weird. Okay, so when she was on her whip and she realized that her powers were fading and she fell, right?
Hmm.
She let go of the whip. But that same scene, the whip is on her hip. You know,
Yeah.
like catch these
Yeah.
things. And then you come on,
Yeah.
like, isn't that shit and still like stuck in the air over there? Like, when did you go
It's
get
like
it?
some real Starbucks cup and the Game of Thrones things, but it's a huge movie that everybody's
Exactly.
been waiting for. And you guys had extra time to make sure things were right. Because somebody just like, you know what, I'll give us an extra watch while I'm waiting in the pandemic
Yeah.
and make sure this stuff's corrected. Yeah.
It's almost like they wanted this film to uh be funny, whatever, to try to like not be the
Yeah.
typical dark DC universe. But I didn't even really think the first Wonder Woman was really like that anyway. Um, so man, this was just what to me just uh, not expected, kind of a letdown. If I knew going into this was going to be like a fun ride film,
Yeah.
whatever you want to say, I would have been a little different. But I agree with you. I think this is a C.
Mhm.
I don't think it deserves any higher than that, really.
I don't. And
Yeah,
again, I just want to iterate. It's the writing. It's the production of
yeah,
the film.
yeah,
So many people are like, "Oh, how do you guys get?" So all of a sudden, because Captain Marvel was trending, and then people are like, "Oh, people like Captain Marvel now because they're comparing her to Wonder Woman." Okay, first of all, there's superhero movies. Like, let's compare them by superhero movies. Let's compare Wonder Woman to Iron Man and Thor. Like, she's one of the Trinity, so she needs to be compared to a Trinity character. On Marvel side, if you're going to do that, and it doesn't hold up. It does not hold up to the Iron Mans. We all talk smack about Iron Man. Iron Man 3 is a great example. I actually really like Iron Man 3, and most people don't. It's just that's just how it is. And I'm sure there's a lot of people who like this one and others don't. But I just think that it's not doing her justice to compare her to Captain Marvel or something like that. Like, oh, which woman hero did it best? Like, she's one of the big dogs. It's not about that. She
yeah,
needs to carry DC, and this movie does not carry DC. Like
yeah.
this, we're supposed to be looking at a new wave of DC EU, and this one fell flat in my opinion.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like I would have never compared. Captain Marvel to Wonder Woman at all because I know to me, my in my eyes, Wonder Woman's on a whole different stage compared to Captain
Exactly.
Marvel. Uh,
Right.
and you're right. She needs to be up there with like the Captain America, the Iron Man's like that, way up
Right.
there. Um, yeah, I don't know. Actually, I don't wouldn't know who you would compare it to if we did a little quick comparison. But like fame wise and big wise, it needs to be up there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. She needs to be up. You nailed it. She's like, if we're looking at MCU, not necessarily Marvel in general, but yeah, I think you would be Thor, Captain America, and Iron Man, and then they're kind of rotating things out now to where it'd be like Spider Man, Black Panther, stuff. So that's kind of rotating over there. But yeah, Captain Marvel is kind of like a Doctor Strange level, like really cool characters, but they're not leading the show.
Yeah.
And Wonder Woman's supposed to be standing tied toe to toe with Superman, who also hasn't been making great films. I mean, again, the first one is good, but whatever. And then Batman's,
I
which were
actually
really
enjoy them.
you enjoy Batman vs
Actually,
Superman?
I no, I kind of did, and I actually enjoyed the
Really?
Superman movies
Okay.
too. I don't know, just something I keep. I've
Hey,
watched the Superman movies a couple times.
again, I because on Twitter today, dude, all day today on social media has been a bunch of our friends and stuff like that, pod friends and stuff like that. Been like, well, I really liked it. I'm like, that's great, you guys like it, but I'm just saying that structurally it's bad. Like
Yeah,
they just didn't do a great job. Um, but yeah, to me, Batman vs Superman. My big complaint is first of all that Lex Luthor, oof, and the next one, yeah, right.
yeah, I
The
try to look
next one
past that
is
one. Yeah.
I hate that Batman, who's just like the super genius, stops because he's like, Martha, you said Martha? Like that just shuts off Batman? Okay. Can somebody tell Joker to name his mom Martha real quick? I mean, come on now. It doesn't make much sense to me, but whatever.
Um, uh, yeah, yeah. I don't know. I
Any last thoughts on Wonder Woman before we go? I mean,
just
again, three
this
plot holes, writing bad, ending
man.
terrible.
Yeah,
Is there
this the way she the quick cheetah fight scene was whatever. The fucking the talking to the villain to pretty much defeat the villain was like, come on
yeah.
now.
I'm not
Um,
talking to you. I'm talking to them. Okay,
yeah,
we're good.
yeah,
And it was a real like if you guys believe hard enough kind of moment. It wasn't really. I mean, come on now. That's like a Saving Tinkerbell Act 2 moment getting into Act 3. It's not necessarily like how you finish the film. Yeah.
yeah. I don't know.
Uh,
It sucks though because ah man, I was just in love with Wonder Woman after the first film. It sucks to
yeah.
watch this and you're just like from the beginning to the end. They're like, fuck, man, I don't want to watch this anymore.
And you nailed it earlier too when you said talking about Cheetah. Cheetah deserves better. She's
Oh
too
yeah,
important to Wonder Woman and to the DC universe. I wanted them to find a way to bring her back because she is just there are multiple Cheetahs, iterations. Bring back another one, whatever. Cheetah's too important to this franchise. You got to bring her back. You don't have to CGI it all up and stuff like that. They had kind of an Ares moment with that. But yeah, it just kind of fell flat. Like we didn't even get much of Cheetah as Cheetah. There's just kind of one fight and that was done.
and it's like when she transformed to the CGI cheetah, it's like it doesn't the face didn't resemble Christine Wiig at all.
It was a whole
Like
other thing. It was
like
just a CGI character.
a whole different face, but it was like, man, like I don't know what they don't understand that we're okay. Well, at least I'm okay. This is my opinion. To have her in a cheetah outfit, like I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
The fight, and I
Or
know, understand the crazy
yeah.
fight stunts are gonna CGI that, but or at least do like what the Hulk did, where if I look at the Hulk, I can see resemblance in Mark Ruffalo in the face. Like they didn't even, I feel
Mhm.
like they didn't even do that. It just looked like a totally different person.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, a TV show like Mando can do it better than they can.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just I love you, Luke. So, let's look at the release platform. Okay, I personally watched. I mean, I was all excited. It's Wonder Woman. It's Christmas night. I'm gonna treat myself. I made sure to move the couch in front of the big TV because and I got my popcorn ready. I went out and bought popcorn for the event. I was making it movie night. I wanted to kind of recapture some of that theater aspect, right? And I mean, it could be tailor made better. I had a nice big blanket and the dog chilling, and because I actually really liked that. I think that was a good way to watch a new release, making it myself my own experience. Did you make sure to kind of like really appreciate the movie, or were you distracted with your phone and stuff like that?
So I was in heaven. Man, I had my heating blanket. I had
Yeah,
some Nutty Buddies with the trail mix with a little like whatever they do to make it. I don't know what they do. Family made it, and I just whatever. I had some chocolate covered pretzels. Uh, man, this is bad for the movie theaters, but man, I felt good.
Me too, man.
This is
I had
comfortable as
I
shit.
I had my thickest blanket and that heater going, and I was like, the theaters can't capture this. Like, there's just no
No,
chance.
no,
Yeah,
and
it
then man,
was good.
I'm sitting on my brand new $2,000 couch, and I'm just like in heaven. Like this is great.
Yeah, yeah.
Not dressed, wearing whatever the hell I want.
I was kind of tweeting stuff out in the beginning, but then I was like, you know what? I need to give this all. So I actually consciously made the idea like I need to stop tweeting about this so I could really focus on this. But you've been to the theaters with me, during the podcast days
Yeah,
now, where I'm sitting there with my phone on the side taking notes as we're watching a movie in the
yeah,
middle of the
yeah.
theaters. I'm that annoying guy. So I am used to being distracted by my phone during the events. Um, Last thoughts on Wonder Woman before we head out and reiterate our grades.
Just disappointment. I think Patty was really I had her on like the holy grail of DC.
Yeah,
Like
she's
she
on a
was the
pedestal.
savior, and then now it's just like whatever. There's where's our light? Like what can we do to get this universe up?
James Gunn's got it. Suicide Squad is going to be the one that blows it up.
Think
Because
so?
I'm all about Harley Quinn, especially in the DCEU. I mean, she had that Birds of Prey movie, fantastic. I'm all about Harley Quinn.
Okay, okay.
So,
I'm
Suicide
hoping
Squad.
with
That's
Jim
good.
Lee's kind of like call it overview of everything that
Yes.
kind of get some hope in that too.
And this movie came out. This movie was in the process before he took the helm, so it was out of his
Okay,
control.
good, good.
Um, by the way, Jim Lee, really cool Christmas movie he was doing. He was going around to like, yeah, medical personnel, just different people and stuff like that, and handing out like renditions that he did, like full artwork with him signing and stuff like that. Was handing it out to people. Really cool. It's just, I mean, that's a collectible item right there,
What the
man.
fuck, man? I
Yeah.
want one.
What about mine?
Yeah,
Yeah.
gosh.
All right. Next, we're gonna talk about Soul. Uh, I actually kind of enjoyed this one. I went in with a little bit low expectations. I'm a big fan of John Baptiste, who was in charge of the music for this movie. So I was excited to. I'm not necessarily a big jazz fan, but I was open to it, and went in with pretty mediocre expectations. Didn't think much. Uh, Story wise, I felt like it was kind of. It really broke up the normal act structure. It kind of felt like it was all over the place because we had many different like phases. Pre. Let's do a spoiler alert real quick.
Yeah.
We should do overall actually. So we had like pre-death, death phase, him as a cat, post cat. Like it was weird the way those structures were broken. The acts were broken up in this one. Um, but it had a decent pace. I would overall say it was an okay movie. It was pretty good. Uh, does it make the top 10 Pixar movies?
No.
Probably not. We got Wall-E on that list. Are you kidding me? And so, yeah. What did you think overall of this one?
I thought it was just good, and that's where I'm
Yeah.
sticking with. Sometimes I just said like, oh, it was okay. Um,
Yeah.
I don't with Pix. I think because I'm coming off of Coco, I have high expectations, but not everyone's
Oh,
gonna bang like Coco,
yes.
right?
So
Uh,
good.
yeah. So, watching this, I was excited because I actually do like jazz. I really like going to like these jazz restaurants and kind of just chilling with a drink and some food and just like listening to them play.
Hmm.
So I really did like that, but it was there was not too much jazz really involved. It was just like an element of the story that was kept being used. It
Yeah.
was in the beginning, then you have all this death stuff, and then wasn't really well, he played one show at the end and that was it.
And
Uh,
even that show was like changing through songs so fast. So you had the multiple different like tempos of jazz. So it really didn't feel like you were listening to a jazz song. You were listening to a montage of jazz, really.
yeah.
And so it didn't quite have that same feel like you were getting into it like he was.
And I
But yeah.
thought a little bit of that soul was going to be kind of like that term, like, oh, you need to put some soul into your jazz, and it was going to combine like the two, but it really didn't do that. It was just mostly just the ghost, basically spirit and whatever.
The rules of this world are kind of fast and loose because there's like that whole part. I mean, like, again, spoilers, just say it again. The whole part at the end where he's like playing so that he could like elevate himself. Like when you get into the mood, you
Yeah,
kind of like go into heaven a little bit. Not that it's actually heaven, it's just their afterlife, their version of afterlife. You elevate into it, and then he's like, okay, well, now that I'm up here, let me hop back on that ship and do this. It's like, okay, is your body dead at the piano right now?
yeah.
There is some stuff like that. Maybe I should stop looking at plot holes, actually, now I'm thinking about it. But um, yeah, they were pretty fast and loose with the things. Somebody today brought up a really good point, and they were showing stills of how well the lighting was done because it kind of took place during fall, as we saw like leaves falling and stuff like that. And so, if you guys get a chance to watch this, post this, really pay attention to the lighting. They went above and beyond, like in that train, the subway system and stuff. It was really nice.
Hmm.
Yeah. Any other pluses or negatives from Soul before we drop a
No,
grade on this?
man, it's not really like I really have too many pluses or negatives.
Yeah.
I thought that it was kind of cute, the whole pre-birth ghost little babies.
Yeah.
That was kind of
Yeah.
neat to see something like that.
It was a cute little system they had where like, yeah, I like how they like go get their personalities, and whoever's
Yeah.
in charge of it is just like, all of you go be, assholes basically. Like
Yeah.
they keep like, and the other guy's like, we probably should send less people to that one.
Yeah.
It's just like,
I
yeah,
think it was a cool
makes sense.
system. I mean, I like how he took somebody else's identity, and but he was able to kind of flip it and change, like, oh, this is not really me, this is me, and then it's all his memories.
Hmm.
I liked him as a character, but it was just so
I did.
there was just not background for him. I guess I don't know. I guess we're just focused on
Yeah.
it. But even okay, so even at the end when you were talking about like, oh, he goes into their afterlife, spirit realm, heaven, whatever.
Hmm.
That because he was playing the piano, and then he was like, okay, well now it's like I'm dead. So did you die at the piano? Did you have a stroke? Were you having a heart attack? How
Right.
do we get it there? And then we're giving you the second life. I think because I'm coming off of Coco. Uh, what 3 out of 3? I cried. So when I watched Coco,
Yeah. Oh man,
it's
that
like
last part where he plays a song for his
yeah,
grandma and then she starts to sing it too, and
yeah,
like, oh, don't get me
yeah.
started.
And the world
But
was
Coco's
beautiful and stuff, and this world was
beautiful.
not as strong as the afterlife in Coco.
Coco's Afterlife, especially like they had those orange flowers and stuff like it had
Mhm.
really good colors to it. And it had like the Dios de los Muertos, like the paint, on
Yeah,
the it was so cool. When this one was just like, you're a blue blob and you're like an off blue blob
yeah.
and stuff like that. It wasn't like really fancy.
And there was no
Uh
twist. I know I shouldn't be keep comparing this to Coco, but there was like no twist. Like okay, like oh shit, Ernesto's not really our dad. It's Hector. He's actually the villain. Blah blah
oh
blah.
yeah, that was good. Yeah.
There was nothing to this movie for me.
Hmm.
Like okay, he felt bad and somehow he went back to the afterlife, but it was just kind of a straight shot movie, really. Like there was nothing to
It
it.
was. I kind of wanted it would have been maybe a little bit too easy, but I kind of wanted it to be where his spark was mentoring. Like he mentored the Tina Fey's character, 22, that's the name.
Yeah.
He mentored 22, and then he kind of got joy out of that, and then there's a part where his students are, like there's that one student that's, so I was kind of hoping that the spark was inspiring others, like creating more sparks. Like that would have been kind of like a little way to close things off.
I was hoping 22 instead of like, hey, I'm trying to show you jazz and music or whatever. I was hoping 22 because you really see him 22 talking to other people that she would become that mentor or whatnot and kind of like beating off the path of being jazz. Now,
Yeah.
the other thing too, what I would have loved at the ending was like it did like a couple of years in the future. He's playing jazz, whatever the hell he wants to do, but he kind of like locks eyes with a little girl, and then it
Yeah.
kind of just walks off. And then
Yeah.
like, hey, 22's in this world, she's doing fine
That
or
would have
whatever
been
the
kind of cool.
hell. But instead, it just kind
Yeah.
of into him like, hey, make the most of your life. But
Yeah, I'm gonna enjoy life, which is a good message, but it
yeah,
wasn't as finite. I think that most Pixar movies, because they have a lot of younger audiences, would probably have been like, okay, the answer is this, stuff like that.
I just kind of was like, what happened in 22? I want to know. Is she doing okay?
True. Yeah, she landed. Yeah, you could tell she landed in like the Asia. I was trying to like, okay, where's she going? Is she going to be in New York with him? No, she landed somewhere in Asia. Yeah,
I didn't
and
even.
and the idea that like any voice, so really, it's anybody, right? It does,
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's something else there. It was a decent movie. I did like it. Jamie Foxx, I think, did a really good job voice acting in it
Jamie
too.
Foxx could
Shout out
really
to him.
just be any voice.
Yeah, it's so crazy when you see him in interviews. Like the guy seems like he's a little off his rocker, but when he sits down and does a job, I mean, man, his portrayal of Ray Charles blew me
Oh
away
man.
back in the day, man.
Yeah.
And so I think he did a really good job. He had like a lot of
Yeah.
inflection in his voice, and he seemed like he was really busting it out.
Yeah.
Just- let's drop a grade on this. What are you thinking?
I'm doing a B minus.
B minus. That's exactly where I'm at too.
Oh.
Is B minus. Yeah, I think that's fair. So it beats Wonder Woman, which was surprising. I know we were kind of Instagramming back and forth, and you were like, "Yeah, I know,"
Dude.
and I was like,
It was funny
I don't
because I
know,
was
man.
like, dude, Soul's okay. And then you like watch Wonder Woman. And then my next one was like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. It was interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't expect that to happen a couple days ago. All right, so that's our reviews, guys. We got B minus for Soul, and then we have the C for Wonder Woman. Before we go, we have the 3 shirts we're giving away to the Twitter folks and Instagram folks. So what we have here, I have a list of 1 to 35. A lot of people are like for liking on both, so there's some doubles. But we consolidated down to 35. So Squeaks, I want you to pick 1 from 35. First one. Go ahead.
11.
11. Okay, so that goes to Hazer. I don't remember what the last name was, but it's Hazer. I'm gonna DM you guys to get your size, their shirt selection, and your address, and we'll send it to you. By the way, how do you like that new 2021 shirt that we have that looks like you're in college?
Yeah, I like that one, actually.
Me too.
I actually really do like that one.
Okay, pick another one from 1 to 35.
23.
23 is what should we watch podcast. All right, good stuff. A lot of, because if you guys don't know, if you have a podcast, you're on social media a lot to try to spread the word. A lot of podcasters are responding to this tweet. All right, what's another one? 1 to 35.
8.
8. Dan Bickle. Dan Bickle, congratulations, you got a shirt as well. All right, there we go. We have our 3 winners right there. We're gonna try to do more giveaways more often, kind of spread the word on the merch and stuff like that, and also it's just fun to give away shirts. So that's it for the show. We have a level up coming up later on, guys. You guys get a piece of that. And then we're gonna be taking next week off so we can kind of like reset things and stuff like that. We have all kinds of new stuff coming to the podcast. We'll actually create a post for it so you guys can read up all the cool stuff's coming up, and it's gonna be really good. All right, we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. You guys have some fun. Happy New Year. Bye. Thank you for joining us on the Geek Freaks podcast. You can find us on Twitter at Geek Freaks Pod. We're also on Facebook, Instagram. You can email us. We have our Patreon and a store. All those links